There we are. Excellent. Let me also start up that thingy thing. Whatchamacallit. Um. Uh, all right. And then stick that there. There we go. Okay. Everything's set up. That's good. We'll see if anyone joins live. Probably, but not too quickly, I don't reckon. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep trying to catch up in my Bible reading. Last night I stopped at chapter 5 in Numbers when I was supposed to stop at chapter 9. So now today I'm supposed to be in chapter 12. We'll see how far we get, but I'm going to start at Numbers chapter 6. And hopefully my voice does not wear out again. I'm also going to have to end this stream a little early, I think, because I work tomorrow. And I have to get up early. Alright, anyway. Numbers chapter 6. Again, Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the sons of Israel and say to them, when a man or woman makes a special vow, the vow of a Nazirite, to dedicate himself as a Nazirite to Yahweh, he shall abstain as a Nazirite from wine and strong drink. He shall drink no vinegar, whether made from wine or strong drink, nor shall he drink any grape juice, nor eat fresh or dried grapes. All the days of his Nazirite vow he shall not eat anything that is produced by the grapevine, from the seeds even to the skin. All the days of his vow as a Nazirite no razor shall pass over his head. He shall be holy until the days are fulfilled for which he dedicated himself as a Nazirite to Yahweh. He shall let the locks of hair on his head grow long. All the days of his dedication as a Nazirite to Yahweh, he shall not go near to a dead person. He shall not defile himself for his father or for his mother, for his brother or for his sister, when they die, because the Nazirite vow to his God is on his head. All the days of his Nazirite vow he is holy to Yahweh. But if a man dies very suddenly beside him, and he defiles the head of hair during his Nazirite vow, then he shall shave his head on the day when he becomes clean. He shall shave it on the 7th day. Then on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the doorway of the tent of meeting. And the priest shall offer one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make atonement for him concerning his sin because of the dead person. And that same day he shall set apart his head as holy, and shall dedicate to Yahweh the days of his Nazirite vow, and shall bring a male lamb a year old for a guilt offering. But the former days will be void, because his Nazirite vow was defiled. Now this is the law of the Nazirite when the days of his Nazirite vow are fulfilled. He shall bring the offering to the doorway of the tent of meeting, and he shall bring his offering near to Yahweh, 1 male lamb a year old without blemish for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb a year old without blemish for a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish for a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, and of unleavened wafers spread with oil, along with their grain offering and their drink offering. Then the priest shall bring them near before Yahweh, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. He shall also offer with the ram a sacrifice of peace offerings to Yahweh, together with the basket of unleavened cakes. The priest shall likewise offer its grain offering and its and its drink offering. The Nazirite then shall shave the head of hair for his Nazirite vow at the doorway of the tent of meeting, and take the hair of his head of his Nazirite vow, and put it on the fire which is under the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall take the ram's shoulder when it has been boiled, and 1 unleavened cake out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them on the hands of the Nazarite, after he has shaved the hair of his Nazarite vow. Then the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before Yahweh. It is holy for the priest, together with the breast offering by waving, and the thigh offering by raising up, and afterward the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite who vows his offering to Yahweh according to his Nazarite vow, in addition to what else he can afford, according to his vow which he takes. So he shall do according to the law of his Nazarite vow. Then Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons, saying, Thus you shall bless the sons of Israel. You shall say to them, Yahweh bless you and keep you. Yahweh make his face shine on you, and be gracious to you. Yahweh lift up his face on you, and give you peace. So they shall invoke my name on the sons of Israel, and I then will bless them. Oh, looks like we've got people on now. Hello. Let me look through some of these. What can I help with? Hi, what am I doing? I am reading my Bible. Trying to catch up. Because I've gotten behind. What can I help with? I don't understand the question because I'm not sure if there's anything you can help with. I mean, you can listen, I suppose, and leave a like if you'd like. Manuel Perez says hi, and so does Connie Bailey. Hello. Alrighty. Oh, before I continue, what I'm doing is if I get 15 likes, I'll eat ketchup on Smarties. And actually, I didn't write this down, so you can't see it, but if I get 20 likes, so that's 5 likes more than just the 15, I'll actually use, I'll use some pickle ketchup instead of this packet. So, 15 likes, I'll do a packet on Smarties, these right here. But if I get 20, for whatever reason, I'll use pickle ketchup. Anyway, that's just a kind of side thing I'm doing, just for the fun of it. Draw unlock pattern. I'm not sure what the unlock pattern is. Alrighty. Anyway, Numbers chapter 7. Now, it happened on the day that Moses had finished setting up the tabernacle that he anointed it and set it apart as holy with all its furnishings and the altar and all its utensils. He anointed them and set them apart as holy. Then the leaders of Israel, the heads of their fathers' households, brought an offering near. They were the leaders of the tribes. They were the ones who were over the numbered men. And they brought their offering before Yahweh, 6 covered carts and 12 oxen, a cart for every 2 of the leaders, and an ox for each one. And they brought them near before the tabernacle. Then Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Accept these things from them, that they may be used in the service of the tent of meeting, and you shall give them to the Levites, to each man according to his service. So Moses took the carts and the oxen and gave them to the Levites. 2 carts and 4 oxen he gave to the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And 4 carts and 8 oxen he gave to the sons of Merari, according to their service, under the direction of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. But he did not give any to the sons of Kohath, because theirs was the service of the holy things, which they carried on the shoulder. And the leaders brought near the dedication offering for the altar when it was anointed. So the leaders brought their offering near before the altar. Then Yahweh said to Moses, Let them bring their offering near, 1 liter each day, for the dedication of the altar. Now the one who brought his offering near on the first day was Nahshon the son of Amminadab, of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, one ram, one male lamb 1 year old for a burnt offering, one male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Nashon the son of Amminadab. Before I continue, I'm just going to make a note so that y'all know this is the longest chapter in this book. I think it's like 89 verses long. Yeah. And it's very repetitive. It just goes through what the leaders of each of the tribes brought near, and it's going to be the same thing for every single one of them. So I'm going to be reading some of the same numbers over and over again, which is fine. There's not a problem with that. It just gets a little bit repetitive. All right, where was I? I stopped at verse 17. So verse 18. On the second day, Nethanel, the son of Zuar, the leader of Issachar, brought an offering near. He brought near as his offering 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Nethanel the son of Zuar. Excuse me. On the third day it was Eliab the son of Helon, leader of the sons of Zebulun. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Eliab the son of Helon. On the fourth day it was Eliezer the son of Shedeur, leader of the sons of Reuben. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Eliezer the son of Shedeur. On the fifth day, it was Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai, leader of the sons of Simeon. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai. On the sixth day was Eliasaph the son of Deuel, leader of the sons of Gad. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Eliasaph the son of Deuel. On the seventh day it was Elishama the son of Ammihud, leader of the sons of Ephraim. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil, for a grain offering. 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Elishama the son of Ammihud. On the eighth day, it was Gamaliel the son of Pedazur, leader of the sons of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Gamaliel the son of Pedazur. On the 9th day it was Abidan the son of Gideoni, leader of the sons of Benjamin. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Abidan the son of Gideoni. On the 10th day it was Ahiezer the son of Ammishaddai, leader of the sons of Dan. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Ahiezer the son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day it was Pagiel the son of Ochran, leader of the sons of Asher. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels of silver. 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb of 1 year old for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Pagiel the son of Ochran. On the 12th day it was Ahira the son of Enan, leader of the sons of Naphtali. His offering was 1 silver dish, whose weight was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 1 male lamb 1 year old, for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs 1 year old. This was the offering of Ahira the son of Enan. This was the dedication offering for the altar from the leaders of Israel when it was anointed: 12 silver dishes, 12 silver bowls, 12 gold pans. Each silver dish weighed 130 shekels, and each bowl 70. All the silver of the utensils was 2,400 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The 12 gold pans full of incense, weighing 10 shekels apiece, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, all the gold of the pans 120 shekels. All the oxen for the burnt offering 12 bulls, all the rams 12, the male lambs 1 year old with their grain offering 12, all the male goats for a sin offering 12, and all the oxen for the sacrifice of peace offerings 24 bulls, all the rams 60, the male goats 60, the male lambs 1 year old 60. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. Now, when Moses went into the tent of meeting to speak with him, he heard the voice speaking to him from above the mercy seat that was on the ark of the testimony, from between the 2 cherubim. So he spoke to him. Real quick, I want to calculate how much gold that is. Oh, how's it going? Hi. Hello, how are you? So let's see. 2,400 shekels. So a shekel we determined is about half an ounce of silver. So multiply that by 2, that's 4,800 ounces. 4,800 ounces, and then multiply that by 3/4 and add a 0, I guess. So 48 times 3/4, that's 112. 36 over 1, that's 36,000. That's $36,000 worth of silver. And how much gold? 120 times 2 is 240. And then 240 times, well, what's 24 times 5? That's 120. 120, and then add 3 zeros. That's $120,000 worth of gold. Okay, so $36,000 of silver, $120,000 worth of gold. And so you add those together, that's $156,000 together just of metal. And that's not including the the price of all the animals. I don't know how much those animals cost today. Alrighty. Well, that was the longest one, so everything should be a little easier from here on out. Chapter 8. Then Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and say to him, When you mount the lamps, the 7 lamps will give light in the front of the lampstand. Aaron therefore did so. He mounted its lamps at the front of the lampstand, just as Yahweh had commanded Moses. Now this was the workmanship of the lampstand, hammered work of gold, from its base to its flowers. It was hammered work, according to the pattern which Yahweh had shown Moses. So he made the lampstand. Again, Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the sons of Israel, and cleanse them. Thus you shall do to them for their cleansing. Sprinkle purifying water on them, and let them use a razor over their whole body, and wash their clothes, and they will be clean. Then let them take a bowl from the herd with its grain offering, fine flour mixed with oil, and a second bowl from the herd you shall take for a sin offering. So you shall bring the Levites near before the tent of meeting. You shall also assemble the whole congregation of the sons of Israel, and bring the Levites near before Yahweh, and the sons of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites. Aaron shall then present the Levites before Yahweh as a wave offering from the sons of Israel, that they may be qualified to perform the service of Yahweh. Now the Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, then offer the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering to Yahweh, to make atonement for the Levites. And you shall have the Levites stand before Aaron and for his sons, so as to present them as a wave offering to Yahweh. Thus you shall separate the Levites from among the sons of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Then after that the Levites may go in to serve the tent of meeting. But you shall cleanse them and present them as a wave offering, for they are wholly given to me from among the sons of Israel. I have taken them for myself, instead of every first issue of the womb, the firstborn of all the sons of Israel. For every firstborn among the sons of Israel is mine, among the men and among the animals. On the day that I struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. But I have taken the Levites instead of every firstborn among the sons of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the sons of Israel, to perform the service of the sons of Israel at the tent of meeting, and to make atonement on behalf of the sons of Israel, so that there will be no plague among the sons of Israel by their coming near to the sanctuary. Thus did Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the sons of Israel to the Levites, according to all that Yahweh had commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So the sons of Israel did to them. The Levites, too, purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes, and Aaron presented them as a wave offering before Yahweh. Aaron also made atonement for them to cleanse them. Then after that, the Levites went in to perform their service in the tent of meeting before Aaron and before his sons, just as Yahweh had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so they did to them. Now Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, This is what applies to the Levites, from 25 years old and upward. They shall enter to perform their duty in the service of the tent of meeting. But at the age of 50 years they shall retire from their duty in the service and not serve any more. They may, however, minister to their brothers in the tent of meeting in order to keep up their responsibility, but they themselves shall perform no service. Thus you shall deal with the Levites concerning their responsibilities. Thus Yahweh spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the 1st month of the 2nd year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Now let the sons of Israel observe the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month at twilight you shall observe it at its appointed time. You shall observe it according to all its statutes and according to all its judgments. So Moses told the sons of Israel to celebrate the Passover. And they celebrated the Passover in the 1st month, on the 14th day of the month at twilight, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that Yahweh had commanded Moses. So the sons of Israel did. But there were some men who were unclean because of a dead person, so they could not celebrate Passover on that day. So they came near before Moses and Aaron on that day. And those men said to him, We are unclean because of a dead person. But why are we restrained from bringing near the offering of Yahweh at its appointed time among the sons of Israel? Moses therefore said to them, Wait, and I will listen to what Yahweh will command concerning you. Then Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, If any one of you or of your generations becomes unclean because of a dead person, or is on a distant journey, he may, however, celebrate the Passover to Yahweh. In the 2nd month, on the 14th day, at twilight, they shall observe it. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. According to all the statute of the Passover, they shall celebrate it. But the man who is clean and is not on a journey, and yet neglects to celebrate the Passover, that person shall then be cut off from his people, for he did not bring near the offering of Yahweh at its appointed time. That man will bear his sin. If a sojourner sojourns among you and celebrates the Passover to Yahweh, according to the statute of the Passover and according to its judgment, so he shall do. You shall have one statute, both for the sojourner and for the native of the land. Now, on the day that the tabernacle was erected, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony, and in the evening it was like the appearance of fire over the tabernacle until morning. So it was continuously. The cloud would cover it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. Now, whenever the cloud would go up from over the tent, afterward the sons of Israel would then set out. And in the place where the cloud settled down, there the sons of Israel would camp. At the command of Yahweh, the sons of Israel would set out. And at the command of Yahweh they would camp. As long as the cloud settled over the tabernacle, they remained camped. Even when the cloud lingered over the tabernacle for many days, the sons of Israel would keep the charge of Yahweh and would not set out. Excuse me. If sometimes the cloud remained a few days over the tabernacle, according to the command of Yahweh, they remained camped. Then, according to the command of Yahweh, they set out. I think I just read that verse. If sometimes the cloud remained from evening until morning, when the cloud was lifted in the morning, they would move out. Or if it remained in the daytime and at night, whenever the cloud lifted, they would set out. Whether it was 2 days, or a month, or a year, that the cloud lingered over the tabernacle, dwelling above it, the sons of Israel remained camped and did not set out. But when it was lifted, they did set out. At the command of Yahweh they camped, and at the command of Yahweh they set out. They kept the charge of Yahweh, according to the command of Yahweh by the hand of Moses. Whoa! That was my wrist. That was weird. Yahweh, this is chapter 10, by the way. Yahweh spoke further to Moses, saying, Make yourself 2 trumpets of silver, of hammered work. You shall make them. There was not a comma there. Of hammered work you shall make them, and you shall use them for summoning the congregation and for having the camps set out. So both will be blown, and all the congregation shall gather themselves to you at the doorway of the tent of meeting. Yet If only one is blown, then the leaders, the heads of the divisions of Israel, shall assemble before you. But when you blow an alarm, the camps that are pitched on the east side shall set out. Then you will blow an alarm the second time, and the camps that are pitched on the south side shall set out. An alarm is to be blown for them to set out. When convening the assembly, however, you shall blow without sounding an alarm. The priestly sons of Aaron, moreover, shall blow the trumpets, and this shall be for you a perpetual statute throughout your generations. Now, when you go to war in your land against the adversary who attacks you, then you shall sound an alarm with the trumpets, that you may be remembered before Yahweh your God, and be saved from your enemies. Also, in the day of your gladness, and in your appointed feasts, and on the first days of your months, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, and they shall be as a remembrance of you before your God. I am Yahweh your God. Now it happened in the second year, in the second month, on the 20th of the month, that the cloud was lifted from over the tabernacle of the testimony, and the sons of Israel set out on their journeys from the wilderness of Sinai. Then the cloud settled down in the wilderness of Paran. So they moved out for the first time according to the command of Yahweh by the hand of Moses. And the standard of the camp of the sons of Judah, according to their armies, set out first, with Nashon the son of Amminadab over its army, and Nethanel the son of Zuar over the tribal army of the sons of Issachar, and Eliab the son of Helon over the tribal army of the sons of Zebulun. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari, who were carrying the tabernacle, set out. Next, the standard of the camp of Reuben, according to their armies, set out with Eliezer the son of Shedeur over its army, and Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai over the tribal army of the sons of Simeon, and Eliasaph the son of Deuel over the tribal army of the sons of Gad. Then the Kohathites set out, carrying the holy objects, and the tabernacle was set up before their arrival. Next, the standard of the camp of the sons of Ephraim, according to their armies, set out, with Elishama the son of Ammihud over its army, and Gamaliel the son of Pedazur over the tribal army of the sons of Manasseh, and Abidan the son of Gideoni over the tribal army of the sons of Benjamin. Then the standard of the camp of the sons of Dan, according to their armies, which formed the rear guard for all the camps, set out, with Ahiezer the son of Ammishaddai over its army, and Pagiel the son of Ochran over the tribal army of the sons of Asher, and Ahira the son of Anan over the tribal army of the sons of Naphtali. This was the order of march of the sons of Israel by their armies as they set out. Then Moses said to Hobab the son of Reuel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, "We are setting out to the place of which Yahweh said, 'I will give to you.' Come with us, and we will do you good. For Yahweh has promised good concerning Israel." But he said to him, "I will not come, but rather I will go to my own land and kin." Then he said, "Please do not leave us, inasmuch as you know where we should camp in the wilderness, and you will be as eyes for us. So it will be, if you go with us, that whatever good Yahweh does for us, we will do for you." Thus they set out from Thus they set out from the mount of Yahweh, 3 days' journey, with the ark of the covenant of Yahweh journeying in front of them for the 3 days, to spy out a resting place for them. Now the cloud of Yahweh was over them by day, when they set out from the camp. Then it happened, when the ark set out, that Moses said, "Rise up, O Yahweh, and let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee before you." And when it came to rest, he said, "Return, O Yahweh, to the myriad thousands of Israel." Now, the people became like those, this is chapter 11, now the people became like those who complain of calamity in the ears of Yahweh. And Yahweh heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yahweh burned among them, and consumed some of the outskirts of the camp. The people therefore cried out to Moses, and Moses prayed to Yahweh, and the fire died out. So the name of that place was called Taberah, because the fire of Yahweh burned among them. And the rabble who were among them had greedy desires. And also the sons of Israel wept again, and said, "Who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish which we used to eat free in Egypt, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our appetite is dried up. There is nothing at all to look at except this manna. Now the manna was like coriander seed, and its appearance like that of bdellium. The people would go out the people would go about and gather it and grind it between two millstones, or beat it in the mortar, and boil it in the pot, and make cakes with it. And its taste was as the taste of cakes baked with oil. And when the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna would fall with it. Now Moses heard the people weeping throughout their families, each man at the doorway of his tent, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled greatly, and it was evil in the sight of Moses. So Moses said to Yahweh, Why have you allowed this evil toward your slave? And why have I not found favor in your sight, that you have laid the burden of all this people on me? Was it I who conceived all this people? Was it I who gave birth to them, that you should say to me, Carry them in your bosom, as a nurse carries a nursing baby, to the land which you swore to their fathers? Where am I to get meat to give all this people? For they weep before me, saying, Give us meat that we may eat. I alone am not able to carry all this people, because it is too heavy for me. So, if you are going to deal thus with me, please kill me at once, if I have found favor in your sight, and do not let me see my wretchedness. Yahweh therefore said to Moses, Gather for me 70 men from the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and their officers, and take them to the tent of meeting, and let them take their stand there with you. Then I will come down and speak with you there, and I will take of the Spirit who is upon you, and will put him upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with you, so that you will not bear it all alone. And say to the people, Set yourselves apart as holy for tomorrow, for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat. For you have wept in the ears of Yahweh, saying, Oh, that someone would give us meat to eat, for it was good for us in Egypt. Therefore Yahweh will give you meat, and you shall eat. You shall eat not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you, because you have rejected Yahweh who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we ever go out from Egypt? But Moses said, The people among whom I am are 600,000 on foot. Yet you have said, I will give them meat, so that they may eat for a whole month. Should flocks and herds be slaughtered for them to be sufficient for them? Or should all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to be sufficient for them? And Yahweh said to Moses, Is Yahweh's power limited? Now you shall see whether my word will happen for you or not. So Moses went out and told the people the words of Yahweh. Also he gathered 70 men of the elders of the people, and had them stand around the tent. Then Yahweh came down in the cloud and spoke to him. And he took of the Spirit who was upon him, and placed him upon the 70 elders. And when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. But they did not do it again. But 2 men had remained in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them. Now they were among those who had been registered, but had not gone out to the tent. And they prophesied in the camp. So a young man ran and told Moses, and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Then Joshua the son of Nun, the attendant of Moses from his youth, said, Moses, my lord, restrain them. But Moses said to him, Are you jealous for my sake? Would that all the people of Yahweh were prophets, that Yahweh would put his Spirit upon them. Then Moses returned to the camp, both he and the elders of Israel. Now there went forth a wind from Yahweh, and it brought quail from the sea, and let them fall beside the camp, about a day's journey on this side, and a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 cubits over the surface of the ground. I just realized that is a lot of quail. A day's journey, I think, is like 20 miles. 20 miles of quail, about 3 feet deep. That's a lot of quail. Oh, and that's just 20 miles on one side of the camp. It's 20 miles all around the camp, and there's like almost 1 million people. So that is I don't know how many tons of quail that is. That's probably several hundred tons of quail. That's a lot. Wow. And the people spent all day and all night and all the next day, and they gathered the quail. He who gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. Let's see, how much is 10 homers? Donuts. Homer is about, oh yeah, that's right, 6.5 bushels. I don't remember how much a bushel is. I feel like a bushel is like 8 quarts or 2 gallons. So they gathered 10 homers, which would have been about 20 gallons worth of quail. So that's like, I don't know. Have you ever seen like those 5-gallon buckets? They're like that big around, about that tall. So 4 of those full of quail. That's the person who gathered the least. Now, while the meat was still in their teeth before it was chewed, the anger of Yahweh was kindled against the people, and Yahweh struck the people with a very severe plague. So the name of that place was called Kibroth Hatava, because there they buried the people who had been greedy. From Kibroth Hatava, the people set out for Hazeroth, and they remained at Hazeroth. Chapter 12. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman whom he had taken as a wife, for he had taken a Cushite woman. And they said, Has Yahweh indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us as well? And Yahweh heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than any man who was on the face of the earth. Suddenly Yahweh said to Moses and Aaron and to Miriam, You 3 come out to the tent of meeting. So the 3 of them came out. Then Yahweh came down in a pillar of cloud and stood at the doorway of the tent. And he called Aaron and Miriam, and then both came forward. And he said, Hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, shall make myself known to him in a vision. I shall speak with him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my household. With him I speak mouth to mouth, indeed, clearly, and not in riddles, and he beholds the form of Yahweh. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant, against Moses? So the anger of Yahweh burned against them, and he went away. But the cloud withdrew from over the tent, and behold, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. And Aaron turned toward Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Then Aaron said to Moses, O my Lord, I beg you, do not place this sin on us, in which we have acted foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Oh, do not let her be like one dead, whose flesh is half eaten away when it comes from his mother's womb. And Moses cried out to Yahweh, saying, O God, heal her, I pray. But Yahweh said to Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, would she not bear her dishonor for 7 days? Let her be shut up for 7 days outside the camp, and afterwards she may be received again. So Miriam was shut up outside the camp for 7 days, and the people did not set out until Miriam was received again. Afterward, however, the people set out from Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. All right, so now I am caught up in Numbers. I need to go back to Genesis real quick to read one chapter. I believe it's chapter 43. Let me check that real quick. Brothers returned to Egypt. Yep, okay, chapter 43 of Genesis. Now the famine was heavy in the land, and it happened when they had finished eating the grain which they had brought from Egypt, that their father said to them, Go back and buy us a little food. Judah spoke to him, however, saying, The man solemnly warned us, saying, You shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you do not send him, we will not go down. For the man said to us, You will not see my face unless your brother is with you. Then Israel said, Why did you treat me so badly by telling the man whether you still had another brother? But they said, The man questioned particularly about us and our kin, saying, Is your father still alive? Have you another brother? So we told him concerning these things. Could we possibly have known that he would say, Bring your brother down? Then Judah said to his father Israel, Send the boy with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, we as well as you and our little ones. I myself will be the guarantee for him. From my hand you may require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then I shall bear the sin before you all my days. For if we had not delayed, surely by now we could have returned twice. Then their father Israel said to them, If it must be so, then do this. Take some of the best products of the land in your bags, and bring them down to the man as a present, a little balm and a little honey, aromatic gum and myrrh, pistachio nuts, and almonds. Now take double the money in your hand, and take back in your hand the money that was put back in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was a mistake. And take your brother also, and arise, return to the man, and may God Almighty grant you compassion before the man, so that he will release to you your other brother, and Benjamin. And as for me, if I am bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. So the men took this present, and they took double the money in their hand, and Benjamin, and they arose and went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. Then Joseph saw Benjamin with them, and said to his house steward, Bring the men into the house, and slay an animal, and prepare it, for the men are to eat with me at noon. So the man did as Joseph said, and brought the men to Joseph's house. And the men were afraid, because they were brought to Joseph's house, and they said, It is because of the money that was returned in our sacks the first time that we are being brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, and fall upon us, and take us for slaves with our donkeys. So they came near to Joseph's house steward, and spoke to him at the entrance of the house. And they said, O my lord, we indeed came down the first time to buy food, and it happened, when we came to the lodging place, that we opened our sacks, and behold, each man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full. So we have brought it back in our hand. We have also brought down other money in our hand to buy food. We do not know who put our money in our sacks. And he said, Be well, do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. Your money has come to me. Then he brought Simeon out to them. Then the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their donkeys fodder. So they prepared the present for Joseph's coming at noon, for they had heard that they were to eat a meal there. Then Joseph came down, and they brought into the house to him the present which was in their hand, and bowed to the ground before him. And he asked them about their well-being, and said, Is your old father well, of whom you spoke? Is he still alive? And they said, Your servant our father is well, he is still alive. And they bowed down and prostrated themselves. Then he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son. And he said, Is this your youngest brother, of whom you spoke to me? And he said, May God be gracious to you, my son. And Joseph hurried out, for he was deeply stirred with compassion over his brother. And he sought a place to weep, and he entered his chamber and wept there. Then he washed his face and came out, and he restrained himself and said, Set the meal. So they set the meal for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. And they were seated before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked at one another in astonishment. and he took portions to them from his own table. But Benjamin's portion was 5 times greater than any of theirs, so they feasted and drank freely with him. All right, now I got to go over to Judges chapter, I think I read 18 yesterday. Yep. So now I need to read 19. Oh, this is a great chapter. I'm saying that sarcastically. This is a very difficult one to read. But read it we shall, because you don't skip over God's word. Everything is important. He wrote it down for a reason. Now, it happened in those days, when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning in the remote part of the hill country of Ephraim, who took a concubine for himself from Bethlehem in Judah. But his concubine played the harlot against him, and she went away from him to her father's house in Bethlehem in Judah, and was there for a period of 4 months. Then her husband arose and went after her to speak to her heart in order to bring her back. And his young man was with him, as well as a pair of donkeys. So she brought him into her father's house. And the girl's father saw him and was glad to meet him. And his father-in-law, the girl's father, prevailed upon him, and he remained with him 3 days. So they ate and drank and spent the night there. Now it happened on the 4th day that they got up early in the morning, and he arose to go. And the girl's father said to his son-in-law, "Sustain yourself with a piece of bread, and afterward you may go." So both of them sat down and ate and drank together. And the girl's father said to the man, "Please be willing to spend the night, and let your heart be merry." Then the man arose to go, but his father-in-law pressed him, so that he turned back and spent the night there. And on the 5th day he arose to go early in the morning, and the girl's father said, "Please sustain yourself and wait until afternoon." So both of them ate. Then the man arose to go along with his concubine and the young man, and his father-in-law, the girl's father, said to him, "Behold now, the day has drawn to a close. Please spend the night. Behold, the day is coming to an end. Spend the night here, that your heart may be merry. Then tomorrow you may arise early for your journey, so that you may go to your tent." But the man was not willing to spend the night, so he arose and went and came to a place before Jebus, that is, Jerusalem. And there were with him a pair of saddled donkeys. His concubine also was with him. They were alongside of Jebus, and the day was almost gone. And the young man said to his master, "Come, please, and let us turn aside into the city of the Jebusites, and spend the night in it." However, his master said to him, "We will not turn aside into the city of foreigners who are not of the sons of Israel, but we will pass on by until Gibeah." Then he said to his young man, "Come and let us draw near to one of these places, and we will spend the night in Gibeah or Ramah." So they passed along and went their way, and the sun set on them near Gibeah, which belongs to Benjamin. Then they turned aside there in order to enter and to spend the night in Gibeah. So they entered and sat down in the open square of the city. Now no one was taking them into his house to spend the night. But behold, an old man was coming from his work, from the field, at evening. Now the man was from the hill country of Ephraim, and he was sojourning in Gibeah, but the men of the place were Benjamites. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw the traveler in the open square of the city. And the old man said, "Where are you going, and where do you come from?" And he said to him, "We are passing from Bethlehem in Judah to the remote part of the hill country of Ephraim. I am from there, and I went to Bethlehem in Judah. But I am now going to the house of Yahweh, and no man is taking me into his house. Yet there is both straw and fodder for our donkeys, and also bread and wine for me, your maidservant, and the young man who is with your servants. There is no lack of anything." Then the old man said, "Peace be to you. Only let me take care of all that you lack. However, do not spend the night in the open square." So he brought him into his house and gave the donkeys fodder, and they washed their feet, and ate and drank. they were making their hearts merry, and behold, the men of the city, certain vile fellows, surrounded the house, pounding the door, and they spoke to the owner of the house, the old man, saying, Bring out the man who came into your house, that we may know him. Then the man, the owner of the house, went out to them and said to them, No, my brothers, please, do not do evil. Since this man has come into my house, do not commit this disgraceful act. Behold, my daughter, who is a virgin, and his concubine. Please, let me bring them out, that you may violate them and do to them whatever is good in your eyes. But do not commit such a disgraceful act against this man. But the men were not willing to listen to him. So the man took hold of his concubine and brought her out to them. And they knew her and abused her all night until morning. And they let her go at the breaking of dawn. As the day began to dawn, the woman came and fell down at the doorway of the man's house where her master was, until full daylight. Then her master arose in the morning, and opened the doors of the house, and went out to go on his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was lying at the doorway of the house, with her hands on the threshold. And he said to her, Get up, and let us go. But there was no answer. Then he took her on the donkey, and the man arose and went to his home. Then he entered his house, and took a knife, and took hold of his concubine, and cut her in 12 pieces, limb by limb, and sent her throughout the territory of Israel. And all who saw it said, Nothing like this has ever happened or been seen from the day when the sons of Israel came up from the land of Egypt to this day. Consider it, take counsel, and speak up. Alrighty. Now, I need to read, I think it's James. Let me see here. January 31st. James 1 through 5. Yep. Because I'm behind, so I should be at February 12th today, but since I'm behind, I'm actually on January 31st. James, there we go. James has 5 chapters, so I will read all 5, and then I will go back and read the Psalms to catch up to those. Something tells me I will not be catching up today, but I will try my best. I'm just going to take a couple minutes to rest my voice, and I'll read in about 2 minutes. I'll rest for 2 minutes and then continue reading. Alrighty, I'm back. I took a little longer than I intended to. I also grabbed myself some things for snack in just a second. But we're going to be reading James. So, James chapter 1. James, a slave of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes who are in the dispersion. Greetings. Consider it all joy, my brothers, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith brings about perseverance. And let perseverance have its perfect work, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. But if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But he must ask in faith, doubting nothing. For the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For that man ought not to expect that he will receive anything from the Lord, being a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. But the brother of humble circumstances is to boast in his high position, and the rich man is to boast in his humiliation, because, like flowering grass, he will pass away. For the sun rises with a scorching heat, and withers the grass. And its flower falls off, and the beauty of its appearance is destroyed. So too the rich man in the midst of his pursuits will fade away. Blessed is a man who perseveres under trial, for once he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted by evil, and he himself does not tempt anyone. But each one is tempted when he is carried away and enticed by his own lust. Then, when lust has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and when sin is fully matured, it brings forth death. Do not be deceived, my beloved brothers. Every good thing given and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shifting shadow. In the exercise of his will, he brought us forth by the word of truth, so that we would be a kind of firstfruits among his creatures. Know this, my beloved brothers, but everyone must be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For the anger of man does not achieve the righteousness of God. Therefore, laying aside all filthiness and all that remains of wickedness, in gentleness receive the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. But become doers of the word, and not merely hearers who delude themselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks at his natural face in a mirror. For once he looked at himself and has gone away, he immediately forgot what kind of person he was. But one who looks intently at the perfect law, the law of freedom, and abides by it, not having become a forgetful hearer but a doer of the work, this man will be blessed in what he does. If anyone thinks himself to be religious while not bridling his tongue but deceiving his own heart, this man's religion is worthless. Pure and undefiled religion before our God and Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. Chapter 2. My brothers, do not hold your faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ with an attitude of personal favoritism. For if a man comes into your assembly with a gold ring and dressed in bright clothes, and there also comes in a poor man in dirty clothes, you shall pay special attention. And you pay special attention to the one who is wearing the bright clothes and say, you sit here in a good place. And you say to the poor man, you stand over there, or sit down by my footstool. Have you not made distinctions among yourselves, and become judges with evil thoughts? Listen, my beloved brothers. Did not God choose the poor of this world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom which he promised to those who love him? But you have dishonored the poor man. It is not the rich who oppress you, and they themselves... is it not the rich who oppress you, and they themselves drag you into court? Do they not blaspheme the good name by which you have been called? If, however, you are fulfilling the royal law according to the Scripture, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, you are doing well. But if you show partiality, you are committing sin, being convicted by the law as transgressors. For whoever keeps the whole law and yet stumbles in one point, he has become guilty of all. For he who said, "Do not commit adultery," also said, "Do not murder." Now, if you do not commit adultery, but murder, you have become a transgressor of the law. So speak and so act as those who are to be judged by the law of freedom. For judgment will be merciless to one who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. What use is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith, but he has no works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is without clothing and in need of daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and be filled," and yet you do not give them what is necessary for their body, what use is that? Even so, faith, if it has no works, is dead by itself. But but someone will say, "You have faith, and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works." You believe that God is one. You do well. The demons also believe and shudder. But are you willing to recognize, you foolish fellow, that faith without works is useless? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered up Isaac his son on the altar? You see that faith was working with his works. As a result of the works, faith was perfected. And the Spirit was fulfilled and the scripture was fulfilled, which says, "And Abraham believed God, and it was counted to him as righteousness, and he was called the friend of God." You see that a man is justified by works and not by faith alone. And in the same way, was not Rahab the harlot also justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way? For just as the body without the Spirit is dead, so also faith without works is dead. Chapter 3. Do not, many of you, become teachers, my brothers, knowing that we will receive a stricter judgment. For we all stumble in many ways. If anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able to bridle the entire body as well. Now, if we put the bits into horses' mouths so that they will obey us, we direct our entire body as well. Look at the ships also. Though they are so great and are driven by strong winds, they are still directed by a very small rudder wherever the inclination of the pilot wills. So also the tongue is a small part of the body, and yet it boasts of great things. Behold, how great a forest is set aflame by such a small fire. And the tongue is a fire, the very world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members as that which defiles the entire body, and sets on fire the course of our existence, and it is set on fire by hell. This is actually a verse that I do know in Spanish. A couple days ago, there was a verse I said I knew in Spanish, but then I couldn't remember some of the words. This one I know. It's Santiago 3:6. Y la lengua es un fuego, un mundo de maldad. The tongue is a fire, the very world of unrighteousness. I know that one. I remember that one. All right, anyway. Verse 7. For every kind of beasts and birds, of reptiles and creatures of the sea, is tamed and has been tamed by mankind. But no one can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil and full of deadly poison. With it we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers, these things ought not to be so. Does a fountain pour forth from the same opening fresh and bitter water? Can a fig tree, my brothers, produce olives, or a vine produce figs? Nor can salt water produce fresh. Who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show by his good conduct his works in the gentleness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not be arrogant and so lie against the truth. This wisdom is not coming down from above, but is earthly, natural, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruits, without doubting. without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. Chapter 4. What is the source of quarrels and conflicts among you? Is not the source your pleasures that wage war in your members? You lust and do not have, so you murder. You are envious and cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, so that you may spend it on your pleasures. You adulteresses, do you not know that friendship with the world is hostility toward God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world sets himself as an enemy of God. Or do you think that the Scripture speaks to no purpose? He jealously desires the Spirit which he has made to dwell in us, but he gives a greater grace. Therefore it says, God is opposed to the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Be subject, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be miserable and mourn and cry. Let your laughter be turned into mourning, and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you. Do not slander one another, brothers. He who slanders a brother or judges his brother slanders the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge of it. There is only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and to destroy. But who are you to judge your neighbor? Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to such and such a city and spend a year there and engage in business and make a profit. Yet you do not know what your life will be like tomorrow. You are a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes away. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and also do this or that. But as it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. Therefore, to one who knows to do the right thing and does not do it, to him it is sin. Chapter 5. Come now, you rich. Cry, howling over your miseries which are coming upon you. Your riches have rotted, and your garments have become moth-eaten. Your gold and your silver have rusted, and their corrosion will be a witness against you, and will consume your flesh like fire. You have stored up such treasure in the last days. Behold, the pay of the laborers who mowed your fields, that which has been withheld by you, cries out against you, and the outcries of those who did the harvesting have reached the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You have lived luxuriously on the earth, and lived in self-indulgence. You have fattened your hearts in a day of slaughter. You have condemned and murdered the righteous man. He does not resist you. Therefore be patient, brothers, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the soil, being patient about it until it receives the early and late rains. You too be patient. Strengthen your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. Do not groan, brothers, against one another, so that you yourselves may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing right at the door. As an example, brothers, of suffering and patience, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. Behold, we count those blessed who persevere. You have heard of the perseverance of Job, and have seen the outcome of the Lord's dealings, that the Lord is full of compassion and is merciful. But above all, my brothers, do not swear, either by heaven or by earth, or with any other oath. But let your yes be yes, and your no, no, so that you may not fall under judgment. Is anyone among you suffering? Then he must pray. Is anyone cheerful? He is to sing praises. Is anyone among you sick? Then he must call for the elders of the church, and they are to pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will save the one who is sick, and the Lord will raise him up. And if he has committed sins, they will be forgiven him. Therefore confess your sins to one another, and pray for one another, so that you may be healed. The effective prayer of a righteous man can accomplish much. Elijah was a man with a nature like ours, and he prayed earnestly that it would not rain. And it did not rain on the earth for 3 years and 6 months. Then he prayed again, and the sky gave rain, and the earth produced its fruit. My brothers, if any among you strays from the truth, and one turns him back, let him know that he who turns a sinner from the error of his way will save his soul from death, and will cover a multitude of sins. Alrighty, so that is James. So the next thing I need to do is read from Psalm 1 to Psalm 60. I definitely cannot do that tonight, but I might read a couple other things depending on, how late it is. Looks like it's 10:30, so maybe I won't read Psalms tonight. And it's most likely that if I get downtime tomorrow while I'm working, I will read most of these. So I might not even read the Psalms in my live stream tomorrow, depending on how things go. I'm gonna get rid of this thing here. There we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna close this. I'm done reading for tonight. I'll stay on a little longer. And if anybody happens to join and ask any questions or something like that, then I will speak a little bit. Otherwise, I'm done reading. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy my snack for a few minutes. That was weird. When I first bit into this, it tasted rotten or something. But it's not. And it doesn't taste like it at all right now, which is really strange. That is weird. It tastes good. It's just that the first bite tasted off. I don't know why. I'm gonna put a poll right here. Let me see, what do I want to ask? Let's see. What should I read tomorrow? First thing, the Psalms, or Proverbs. Let's see, let's add another option as well. Matthew, or some other book. All right, there we go. And I will let people go through that as they wish. If anyone happens to join over the next few minutes. This thing's actually really good. I wonder why that first bite tasted so strange. Is Nigel T NF2K5 in country to be? That is my YouTube handle. I don't understand the question. Are you asking what country I'm in? I think in my channel description or something like that, it might say what country that is. Because I think that's automatically included on someone's channel nowadays. Speak English. I am speaking English. Well, there's the pit. I ate the whole plum. Pretty good. All right. Now for the cereal bar. I'd like to read this on a stream sometime. I read like the first chapter and it was pretty good. Of course, I need to finish that other book I started. Where's that one? Oh, I think it's on the other side of my desk. I started reading through 5 Weeks in a Balloon and never finished, so I should probably finish that one first before I start into another book. Right. Yes, I'm in the United States, that's right. Out of curiosity, why do you ask? Because you asked that in the last stream as well. Ni hao. Let me see. I don't remember what language that is. I recognize it. Ni hao. Is that Japanese? Or is it Chinese? It's one of those two, I think. I don't recall which one. Must have gotten that wrong and offended whoever that was because they left. Alrighty, well, nobody voted on that poll, so I guess I'll just have to redo it tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, it's late. I gotta get to bed because I gotta work tomorrow, starting early. I'll try to stream tomorrow. I don't know. I've got a 12-hour shift, so I might be too tired, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll just worry about all that tomorrow. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful night, and I will see y'all whenever. God bless.